Why success is important in life. Wow, this video is extremely important. I'm glad to put it out for you. Success is important in life because it's the most important thing that we have is money. You can do everything with money, with a disposable income, with money to spend, to do what you want, to have the freedom to spend money doing anything. Most people live paycheck to paycheck with no extra disposable income. They don't even know what their budgeting is. They don't know their income, expenses, whatever. People are living paycheck to paycheck without any disposable income, any money to spend on anything. This is why success is important. It's one of the most important things, if not the most important thing in life, especially if you're a man. It's the most important thing you have. Because you have disposable income. You have money where you can throw around and you can put it in different areas and you can do things. If you have no money and you're paycheck to paycheck and you're struggling to get by, this is the worst existence possible because you don't have anything. If you're a man, your career and your purpose and your mission is the most important thing that you have with this life. If you have no career set, if you don't know what you're doing with your life, you're working some BS job that doesn't have any meaningful purpose to society, then you are a loser. There is nothing more important than working a job or working a career, not a job. There's a difference between a job and a career. If you have a career set where you have, you're making minimum 50 to 60K or more a year, you can budget the extra money. Like, the problem is people just also don't budget them. Now, of course, if you make, the more money you make, the less budgeting you have to do. And that's just the way it works. You work 6 figures, your rent's only $1,500, then of course you're gonna have way less budgeting that you're gonna need to do if you're making 50K a year. But you can still make it work. You still got $3,000 extra. If your rent's $1,500, you're making $4,000 a month, $5,000 a month, $60,000 a year, you're making $5,000 a month, rent's $1,500. Still got like $4,500 to spend, $3,500 to spend. So you still have a decent amount of money left over where, it depends on the lifestyle you want to live. For me, personally, I'm not a big flashy lifestyle. Now, of course, I love money. That's what this whole video is about. Why success is important is money. But it's not like the Lambos and the Bugatti. It's not any of that. It's the fact of not having to worry about not having money to spend. The biggest thing is just not having to worry about money. That's the most important thing, is not having to worry about money. If you have to worry about it, if you're literally worrying about if you can't buy something because it's too expensive, then money is an extreme issue for you. If you can buy, you want something, you buy it. You want something, the money is no concern to you. The problem comes to where if you actually want to buy something and you can't buy it because you don't have enough money, this is the exact reason why success is important. Because it's wants. That's what success is. You want something. This is the whole idea of success. You want something and you get it. That's what success is. You want something, you get it. You have goals. This is success as a whole. I'm giving you the rundown here. If you don't have any goals, if you don't want anything, what's the point in life? Why are we here? Why are we moving? You need money to do that. In order to have money, you need to have a career set. You need to have a purpose and a meaningful way to make money. Can't work at a gas station, can't work doing ballet, can't work doing any BS grocery store job. These jobs, you need meaningful careers. I'm talking about doctors, I'm talking about nurses, I'm talking about firefighters, cops, policemen, anyone in the trades, these are all the jobs that actually matter to society. I'll never forget this, working in construction. I felt, that's the best I've ever felt in my life. And obviously everyone has regrets, and I left that job, and I regret that because I learned a lot from that job, shit that actually matters in life, things that actually matter to just day-to-day activities. And you don't get that working at a gas station or working valet or just because it's slavery. You're kind of just going through the motions, and it's like there's no purpose or meaning. If you have a purpose or meaning behind your work, though, if you're an electrician, if you know how to handle wires, if you're an HVAC, you know exactly how the heating, the air conditioning, like you're in the trades, you're a doctor, you're a nurse, you're saving lives, you're a firefighter. These types of work and jobs are like these are important. This will give your life meaning and purpose. This is why success is important. And that's a little bit of how I identify success. You may have a different idea, but I do truly believe that success will be identified as a meaningful career that actually matters to society. You can't be successful working at a gas station. You can't be successful working valet. It doesn't mean your life doesn't matter. It means you have to be working towards a career job that actually matters. Because until that point, you're basically just working. Like, what are we working towards here? I mean, we all are human. We all live lives. But, there has to be a purpose and meaning behind your life. You can't just live paycheck to paycheck, making $3,000 a month, barely making ends meet. $3,000 a month is what, like $15, $20 an hour. Like, you have to make, I said 50, even 50 is low though. You need at least, like, even in today, I said 60, which is still even low. I would say anywhere above 75 to 80. 75 to 80,000 a year or more, you are comfortable and you don't have to, where's my money? Where's my money? Like, if you're making less than that, like I said, you can spend more money and you don't have to do as much budgeting. But like, if you're like less than that, you have to do a lot of budgeting because you can't go out to eat here. You can't do this. You can't buy anything because you don't have enough money. As you can tell with this video, I was extremely passionate on this subject because I know that money is the most important thing that you have. It's literally the most important thing. If you don't have it, you have absolutely nothing with your life. You have no meaning and purpose. Now, don't get that sidetracked. Actually having that, being a doctor, like that, you actually want to get up and actually be a doctor, and it matters. Like that, actually, that's a fun job. Like, and you learn a lot being a doctor. I'm not just saying, oh, you need to make 75 grand and have freedom. Like, no. You need a purpose. Like, that's why freedom can be bad. If you have, let's say you make $100,000 a year right now, and you have freedom and you can do anything, you have no job, nothing, no responsibilities, you would get depressed extremely quickly because you don't have a purpose, you don't have a meaning, you're not doing anything. And this is why I don't like days off. I have to have meaning and purpose with what I'm doing so that way I can move my life in the direction I want to head it. And I've found something that meaningful in my life that I'm working towards right now. And I hope that you can find this as well for yourself, whatever that is. But, make sure it's a career. Make sure it's not a job. If it's a job, like I said, there's a difference between a job and a career. A job is what anybody can work. You don't barely need an interview. You can survive without an interview. You could be the worst candidate. You'll get the job. A career is you prepared, you studied, you got certifications, you're the right candidate because you're on point. You know stuff. You have knowledge. You have discipline. Like, you don't need that stuff for a job. You don't need it all. We need more people in this world that can work careers, more people that have purpose and meaning with their lives, less people that just F off their life and don't do anything with it. Because in order to live success, you need money. You need money to be successful. It's the most important thing. If you don't have money, you don't have a disposable income, it's the worst feeling in the world. Struggling, paycheck to paycheck. Oh, can I buy this? Do I have enough money to pay for this? I don't know. Worst feeling in the world. You need money to provide, especially if you're a man. You need to be a provider. Can't be somebody who doesn't have money to spend doing whatever. Gotta provide. So I hope that you had value from this video. If you did, like it, comment, subscribe. Get your career on point. It's the most important thing, especially if you're a man. It's the most important thing you're ever going to have in your life. Ever going to have. You know, I make, like, for the longest time, I wanted this YouTube channel to be, like, my main source of income. And now I'm realizing that I don't necessarily want that because I want a career, like, and I think you should want that too. And, you know, of course you can be a social media influencer, etc., etc. But I got off the grid. I got off that grid real quick because I got off dating apps. I got off Instagram. I'm not on TikTok. I'm not on Snapchat. I completely am off the grid because I realized how much better my life is when I'm off the grid and I'm just working like in real life. Like I'm talking about real life as opposed to online. No, don't get me wrong. I hope you got, like, I still make these videos for value though. That's the thing. I'm not doing this for entertainment. I'm not trying to entertain you. I'm trying to give you valuable information you can use for your life, and you can learn a lot from it, and you'll learn from my mistakes and learn from, because the thing is we're always learning every day. But you know, I think that was a really big hit for me, especially like this weekend for sure. It's Saturday night right now. People are out partying, people are out doing whatever. It's a realization that I came to find is that as a man, you need a career, not a job. But the thing is, I didn't really know the difference between a job and career until this weekend. Realizing that, you know, a career where you're making decent amount of income, where you're not paycheck to paycheck, is one of the most important things you can have in life. Because when you're a paycheck to paycheck and you're struggling to get by, it's probably like one of the worst situations you can be in because you have no money. You need money for literally everything in life. Everything in life, you need money. Can't survive without it. You can't survive without it. So you need to find the best avenue. No, everyone's different. So, you know, everyone's different. Not everyone's going to be a doctor. Not everyone's going to be a nurse. Not everyone's going to be a firefighter. Not everyone's going to be a cop. But, like, these are all careers that matter, yes, and these are very, very important ones. And I believe that more people need to step up into these roles so that way, you know, I'm getting real political here, but more people step into these roles, we have less people working some BS grocery store job or some valet job or some gas station job. Like, you know, if we have more people that work meaningful jobs and have more people that are focused on a purposeful life than rather just a meaningless existence, I believe that's where we need to get to, you know, as a country and just as a whole, even as a person. I know I have people that are overseas that are watching this. You know, I'm in America, but I know there's people overseas that watch this as well. And I'm not saying that I don't want that for them too, but, you know, I can give a prime example. In India, for example, they have really, really good education. Everyone's in IT, everyone's in, there's like 3 common fields in India. I know one of them is IT or whatever, but anyways, they're super smart in tech. They know how to do tech. It's like, which is good. But you have, you know, whatever we're learning here in America, something's wrong. Like, why do we have, we need to work careers, not a job, a career, which lasts your whole life. A job is just a meaningless, it's BS. A career matters because it's your life. Your life is a career. That's what your life is. You're finding out who you are. I hope I'm helping you find out who you are, because I definitely am, and I'm sharing everything I can with you on this channel. If you just work a job, then, you know, you need to find a career as soon as possible, and you can't waste any more time. It's one of the most important things you can do, one of the most important things you can do to be happy with yourself, one of the most important things you can do to actually matter to society, to help the most people, to learn the most things, to experience, the most. I mean, for example, doctors, nurses, like they see a lot of traumatic, firefighters, they see traumatic events. Like you don't see this working at a gas station, or now, of course, at a gas station, you may get robbed or something like that. That may be a traumatic event that happens, but the overall message I want you to get from this video is to work a career and not a job, because this is something, things that matter in life, things that matter in society. If you don't know what the difference is, look it up on the internet. I did a research this past weekend or this whole week, and I realized wow, this is what we need in life, because it's money. This is what we need because it's money. Yes. I'm getting back to the overall thesis of this video. Why success is important. Because it's money. That's why we need a career, not a job. A job pays $10 an hour. A career pays $50 to $100 an hour, and your time is actually meaningful. You're doing something with a purpose. It's probably one of the longest videos I've ever made in my life, but I really hope you got value out of this video, because obviously I'm extremely passionate on this subject, because I haven't stopped talking, and that's because I made an extreme realization of my life, and I found out what I wanted to do, and I feel like that's why I can't stop talking, because I know that I found a career set now, and I found something that is going to give my life purpose. For the longest time, I'll explain everything. I was working jobs, BS jobs, like just what I was saying before, loser jobs. And then I was making videos like this on the side of my job, thinking that it was, I'm gonna be a social media influencer, without realizing that it's gonna take a lot of editing, there's a lot that goes into social media to actually blow up and make. Now, of course, I'm not monetized yet here on YouTube, but I will get there eventually if I keep making these videos like this, if I just keep discipline. It goes with anything in life. But the overall thesis, emphasis I'm trying to get at is that I found out that I always wanted YouTube to be my main thing. That's my main. No, it's not my main thing. It's a side hustle. I'll continuously post videos every single day, because I'm not just gonna give up on you and just say, we'll just throw YouTube off the side. No, I'm not gonna do that. But what I am gonna do is keep making videos for you, keeping your discipline up, because I'm gonna keep the discipline no matter what. And that's really what this YouTube channel is for, is to help you keep your discipline and your motivation and everything high. Because I'll always have the discipline and motivation and whatever with me. It'll never leave. That's just the type of person I am. I'll never stop working out. I'll never stop eating healthy. I'll never stop growing to become the best version of myself. It's never gonna stop happening. And that's really what this channel is. It's just, but I also want to provide value. It's motivational, but I also want to give you some value, just like today's video. Big realization I made: career over job. I also want to provide some value to you, so that way you can live your life and not live paycheck to paycheck. It's one of the worst things you can do. Absolutely, probably one of the worst things you can do is live paycheck to paycheck with, not more than $1,500, $2,000 disposable income, where you cannot worry about, do I have enough money for this? I don't know. That is the worst feeling in the world. You can buy what you want, when you want, how you want. You can just buy it. That's it. That's the key right there. Anything else is just kind of but that comes with money. That comes with a career. That's why it's the most important thing. I'll make this to 20 minutes. I'm going to stop talking. But career, just get that in set. Just keep telling yourself, career, not job, career. Something that matters. Once you get this set, now of course your life isn't going to be completely in order once you have a career. I'm not saying that, but you'll be in a much better position. I'll tell you that much. Do you know how many people work in PS jobs? If you just look around, people, they're everywhere. They work BS jobs, and I'm one of them. But I'm telling you right now, I'm working towards the career that matters. And I believe that this will make you happy. I believe it will make you successful. I believe it will make you have a purpose with your life. If you have no purpose, you have no goals, you got no life. That's the video I have for you. If you like this video, like the video, comment, share, subscribe. See you in the next one.